So let's get started with the solution of this exercise. Let's look at case 1. So in case 1, we consider a contribution payment stream that is essentially an annuity in arrear. So how does it look? Well, the payments fall at each time point, 1, 2, 3, and so on up until time n. So this is how the payments fall. And what we want to find, well, our goal is to find u of n. But actually, what we can do first is just kind of tackle this intuitively, because there is, instead of writing the formula for u of t and changing that, we can just try first to do this intuitively. So let's take a look. We want to find the present value of this payment stream. This is an I. When we look at the payment stream at time n. So we're standing at time n and we're considering what the value is at time n of all of the past payments, including the payment that has occurred at time n. And what is it? Well, we have first the payment at time n has the value 1. The payment at time n minus 1, well, it has accumulated 1 period of interest. The payment that occurred at time n minus 2 has accumulated 2 periods of interest. And so on and so on. And then we get to the first payment, which has accumulated all in all, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to n minus 1 periods of interest. And how do I know that? Well, you can kind of count it, or else it's just, what's the difference between 1 and n? That's the number of years it has accumulated interest in. And, well, the difference is n minus 1. So the payments in total, well, they have accumulated respectively 0 years of interest, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, all the way up to n minus 1 years. So what we conclude from this is I can write this up as a nice fancy sum, where each term, well, we can see each term does have 1 plus I, and it gets raised to a power, let's just call that s. And that s goes from, well, 0 in the case of 1, and then it goes like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to n minus 1. So the present value of the payment stream C, of the payment stream for C at time n is given by this sum. And that's very nice, because if I write that up, u of n is equal to the sum of 1 plus I to the minus s for time s equals 0 all the way up to n minus 1. Well, then I kind of see that this reminds me of a geometric sum. And then I go to my formula for geometric sums that I have from the book, and I see that, well, the thing in here that I assume to be a, it's actually, oh, sorry, it's not minus s. I don't know why I wrote minus s here. Away with that. Okay, so the thing I have in here, 1 plus I, that is different from 1. So I can use this formula for geometric sums. And the reason I know this thing in here is different from 1 is because by my assumptions, I is different from 0. So I use the formula for geometric sums, and I reach the conclusion that this thing evaluates to, well, if I plug 1 plus I into a's place. And the t up here, in my case, is a n minus 1. So it's actually n minus to the n minus 1 plus 1. And I have minus 1 here, and then I have 1 plus I minus 1. Then what I had left is 1 plus I to the n minus 1, then minus 1 divided by I. oh sorry, I had n minus 1 plus 1, so actually it should just be to the nth, right? Okay, great. If I make any mistakes during these videos, which I most certainly will, then just write a comment below the video with where the mistake is so that the other people are also notified. And then I'll try to correct it. Okay, so here I've concluded that u of n is equal to this. Well, it's quite funny because that was also what I was supposed to show. And that's nice. And that actually went rather quick. So that's how I do this using payment streams, just by looking at the payment stream and using my intuition and common sense. Now, how do I show this more mathematically? Some of you might be kind of worried. You might say, well, you only just did a drawing and drawings are for kids. I want the maths. Well, actually, this drawing is enough because it's a very nice drawing, but we can also do this according to the definition from page 3. So let's say this one is a drawing, right? And then instead we want to do it according to the definition. That will be in the next video.